We are live. Hey guys, you know what day it is? It's Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, and hopefully we'll show you some balls that will quench your thirst. Sorry, I was hanging out with our featured guest, and time slips by, and then I start looking at the comments, and then before you know it, it's already past our start time. So I think that instead of apologizing and taking the blame for this, I should blame all of you guys for getting here early and distracting me with your comments and making me read them. Otherwise, we would have been started at 8 p.m. as scheduled. But I'm just kidding. So, guys, we have a great guest. We have someone that he makes a lot of noise, and it's funny because these are one of the people that make the noise without making noise. They make the noise with their actions. So you know how I say actions speak louder than words. Well, his actions are done through what he produces, and it's beyond evident that he's crushing the game without making noise. We're always talking about the 8,000, 20,000 followers, but yet they've never hatched a clutch or haven't grown a hatchling to adult, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this is the real deal, and I'm so happy that he gave us the gift of time and gave us his time. So without any further ado, I know you're tired of seeing my face and hearing my mouth. Let's bring out our featured guest. What's up, brother?
I'm just hanging, ready to chit chat and show off some snakes. You know, how you been?
I've been good. I definitely don't think you need much of an introduction, but for that those one or two people that may not know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, and we'll take it from there.
All right, Mike Porter. I guess most people would know me on Instagram as Porter's Pythons, but just Mike is easy enough. I'm here in Southern California. I live in Long Beach, California, and I've been breeding ball pythons since 2011, keeping them since 2009, and breeding since 2011. So, specialize in pieds, and now we're venturing into other stuff. So
see, I'm representing another one of your West Coast brothers over here today,
buddy. Yeah, I think I'll see him. See him tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, definitely good. Actually, I think I was speaking with him when I met you in Arlington. Mm-hmm. I was actually speaking with him and his sandals because the sandals just amaze me and they keep my attention. And you had this beautiful little girl in your arms. Who was that?
Princess. That is my Princess Sophia.
So yeah. Princess Sophia. I love it. You walked around with such pride that day having her in your arms. Like you were such a lucky man.
I really am. Yeah. It's the best thing being her dad. It's awesome.
That's a beautiful thing. I get it. I have my own princess. She's fully grown right now. But I joke about it all the time. My son, he could break an arm and I'm like, come on, man up. My daughter breaks a nail and I'm crying with her, So it's a whole different relationship. So is Princess Sophia, does she get involved with the animals? Does she hold animals? Or
she will run out. She'll wake up from a nap, run straight out to the snake room and daddy, baby snake. And she just wants to pet them, touch them. She just does the little one finger. She loves them.
No fear anything. Now, has she been bit yet?
Nah. I'm very careful. I don't let her open tubs by herself. When she touches them, I'm holding them and stuff. So eventually it'll happen. But it's good. So far, so good. Yeah.
I try to force the issue. I think it was the third year that he finally got bit, but it wasn't really a bite. Actually, it was a snake that came from ball in hand pythons, and he warned me. He said, if you let Samson open up this bag, he might get bit for the first time. This is a feisty animal. Yeah. And oh boy, was everything like described. So we have it on video. We never put it out. I got to put that out there. All right. So listen, we're here to see some of the amazing animals. You have been doing this now for a decade. It's pretty cool when you can say that, right?
Yeah. It didn't happen like in the blink of an eye. It happened quick. So
it does happen fast. In the blink of an eye, it's been a decade. Also, I want to thank you. I'm sure many people know, and it's funny that you didn't put any type of spin on it with the name of your company, but you're a first responder. and you're always putting your life on the line for other people. So thank you for that. We appreciate that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the support, and it's a great job too.
And for all of you that have, sir, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sophia's dad is #1 job, and that's probably #2 job.
You know, it's funny. I saw it somewhere. The way you have it listed, and the first thing you have listed is that.
Yeah, that's in my bio, I think, on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, so that comes before everything, that, and that's awesome. Also, guys, we just want to shout out everyone that has made that sacrifice to defend our freedom. Thank you, and happy Veterans Day to all of you out there. Really appreciate you.
There's a bunch of it
so
here, I know that.
So what do you got? What do you got for us tonight?
So I brought in kind of an assortment of some animals, mostly pied stuff, obviously. Some clown.
So you've been rocking this pied stuff for 10 years strong.
Yeah, it was like the first 2 years I didn't have pieds, and then that's what I started, and then I just blew up from there. That's kind of been our main focus, I would say. This next season we'll have some DG stuff. We just did our first clowns this season, so I'll show you some of those. So that was kind of fun. The running joke is that I hate clowns. It's actually not true. I just joke about it and say, oh, they all look the same, but you'll see a couple here that they don't. Our first one does not look like any regular clown. It's pretty awesome. So the joke was on you then. Yeah, but secretly I had clown females in the collection, but I just didn't have a boy that I really wanted to use until I got one from Tim, and I'm sure he's on here, the Serpent Chamber. Great guy, great buddy of mine, also a vet. So, but I picked it up from him, and it's been the greatest pickup, one of the best pickups ever at least for my clown projects, the start of that. So
do you remember what we were talking about before we came on the live, that they'll start doing pools to see how late
if 3 minutes.
I know, but look, this is Jim being Jim at Jar Pythons, and how late will he be?
We weren't joking, man. They really are.
Oh no, they're serious about being the first one, and they're serious about really messing with me the whole night. How are we tonight, Mary? All right, so I'm giving you the solo screen. Let's see what you're starting us out with.
All right, you said to start off kind of easy and build up. So this is easier. So this is just Enchi pied. He's a little boy that almost sold today, and then the buyer ended up getting an orange dream pied. So, but this guy's really nice. I'll have him at the show. We have a show this weekend, Repticon. Anybody who's local, I think Jerome's going to be there, and a few other people. But
so this is just Enchi in the pied. That's it.
In pied, yeah. So this was a special het pied to an Enchi pied female. And
wow, that thing is so orange though.
It's super orange. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that there's any special in there. Special just really whacks out the head pattern generally, and usually super high. What? This way. I gotta go the opposite direction.
Opposite direction.
He is a really nice Enchi pied.
That's an amazing example right there. And that just shows you the power of Enchi. Now, is that going to keep brightening up over time?
That orange stays pretty good. These Enchi pieds that I've had, they tend to maintain their color really nicely and stay really orange. So I'm hoping. I don't think, like I said, I don't think there's any special influence. And there's only 3. It's weird, right? People make a big deal about some of the pieds I do, but they're only like a few genes. I don't like to put so many on there that they just get overwhelmed,
Well, we talk about it real quick. So Mike, here's the deal though. I think the difference is the quality of the genes and the quality of the animals that you're using, because we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I mean, they look good, so I'm happy with them.
I don't know, that for that being just Enchi and pied is very impressive. Yeah. So that's how we're starting out the night, guys. They're starting out the night with that banger right there.
Yeah, it'll get better. Okay, so I told you we hit clowns, and so this one was one of our very first clutch, not our first one, but this is a Beautiful cinnamon clown. So the pairing on this was a cypress cinnamon spot nose fire het clown boy from Tim to a clown. And this thing is absolutely beautiful, really nice for a dark clown project. The highlights on the side are awesome. They got a couple of these girls. They'll be available, I think, unless I change my mind between this now and this weekend. But I'll show you the sister of this one. It's one of the holdbacks. That is how's that?
That is very, very, very pretty.
Nice.
And that's a female?
That's a female, yeah. I have two of them. I haven't decided, again, 100% if I'm going to keep one or just let them both go. But the other female I am keeping has cinnamon in it, so I probably just let them go.
So let me ask you a question. How many attempts did it take for you to make a cinnamon clown?
One.
I love it. I want to make fun of my co-host tomorrow night who took 6 years to make a cinnamon clown.
Yeah, just one. Because like I said, this is the first year we've produced clowns. Maybe 5. Oh, Jesus. Give me a time.
Yeah.
She paid. Hold on 1 second.
You got it.
Live.
So yeah, it is a nice hoodie. This was you guys already know. No limit.
Yes.
So I don't know. For some reason, I've been on the West Coast a lot lately, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we stay pulling in these West Coast guests, which I really appreciate due to the time difference.
Nice. Yeah. So like I said, I've had clowns in the collection, but this is the first year the boy was ready. And so again, he was cypress, cinnamon, spot nose, fire, het clown. So full of genetics.
So you know that based on what you've been bringing to the game for so long, it's inevitable that you're gonna have to bring us a clown pie.
Yeah. So not a project that I'm actually in. I don't know why. I think that a lot of people jumped onto that project, which it's great, it's beautiful, and there's some really nice ones. But I was like,
some good money in it too.
Yeah, there is. But like I said, I kind of didn't want to be late to the game on it, and so I might get into it later on. But you'll see some other double.
So let me ask you something. You've been making pies now. You're going on the decade making the pies.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any decline in interest with pies? I feel like pies are one of the genes that it just doesn't happen.
No, they seem pretty classic. Like they're going to be a timeless one. And as much stuff as we keep adding into them and maintaining their oranges and all this stuff, it's just, I think the sky's the limit for them. I think that you can still do a lot of great stuff with them. And that's what we plan to do. It's just so far not with clown.
So that's why the only reason I bring that up is that with clown and the same thing, I had a inclination at one point that the market was just getting saturated with clown and that pretty much the bus was missed. But I mean, that was a year ago and it looks like that bus is still moving.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't think it's going. It's just clown and pied, and I think those, and like albinos, honestly, I think are still like always going to be one that, even if it's not like us who are big into the hobby, like the hobbyist is going to always have albinos, and so those things are always going to be like timeless. I think they're not going to go anywhere.
I think albino's an intro snake. It kind of introduces people to the hobby.
Yeah. Here's another one. I'll show you another one. This one's just a head.
Guys, can you tell them we don't say just because they're all beautiful?
Okay, so this one's het pied. This is a project that was kind of one I've been working on for a little bit and finally hit some. Now I've hit highways that were het for pied, but look at this one. This is a Pastel Highway het for pied, not just het. 100% het for pied. But absolutely, this one just hatched or just had their first shed. Maybe how's that? This thing is
That is sick.
Yeah. So honestly, like I've been wanting to do the Highway Pies thing for a while, a few years now, and just hadn't hit the visuals. This is the first, first Pastel Highway, but we hit visual Highway Pies this year, and so that thing is clear. That thing though.
That is amazing. It's almost pink.
So the funny thing is, I like this better than the end result animal that I really wanted, which was Pastel Highway Pie, which I'll show you here as a sibling.
Now, is that going to be a holdback?
I don't think so.
So, guys, are you listening? These things they're not only amazing, but they just may be available.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're holding back one of these females. So, like, there's the Pastel Highway Pie, the visual, right? So I'm a lower white pied fan, and so this guy is just almost all white, you know. But so I love the pattern on that head, but I mean, obviously the power with the visual pies right there. So
okay,
pretty cool.
So
huh?
when you first started with pied, were you a low white type of pied guy from the get, right off the bat?
I've always enjoyed seeing the pattern, and then when I started stacking, more genes into it, I wanted to be able to see the influence and point like, hey, that's that because of this gene, or that's that because of this gene. I don't want to just like, spides, spider pies that you only have just the head color and the whole thing's white, and you got to
cinnamon pie.
And they're beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful in their own right, but I don't I want to be able to point to and say, hey, look, this has got orange dream, this has got yellow belly, it's got whatever, Enchi or pinstripe. Or
have you met Snoop Dogg yet?
He lives like 3 houses down.
Seriously?
I don't even think he lives in Long Beach anymore.
You had me. I'm like, get the hell out of here. All right, guys, this is live, so I can't delete that. So you got something to make fun of me forever, all right? But he said that so seriously. Like, your face was perfect, everything. Like, yeah, we've been neighbors for years now. I just couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. So the funny thing is, pies, I think what makes a pie is the contrast, but it being so white with a little bit of, I think that's what attracts, especially the newer keeper.
For sure.
But for me, it changed. I was high white, loved it. It was beautiful. But now I'm such a low white pie. I'm trying to get my hands on a no white pie. For future projects.
Still do like the white in there. The no white pie, those are cool. They always make me kind of leery. Like, is it really pie?
Is it pie? Is it pie?
But I for me, like 30 to 40, maybe 50% white is awesome. I got one in here that's pretty perfect as far as the amount of, like, in my opinion,
the balance,
the color to pattern kind of ratio. Yeah. All right. Another het pie. Visual, or not visual, but a very visually stunning snake. So this is the one you see as often. Okay. So when I started tinkering with gravel pie, I bought one from Justin years ago, and that was the start of this whole highway pursuit. But they obviously everyone wants to do them with yellow belly stuff, right? Which is great. But I took and moved it to another yellow belly complex and made so these are this is a Enchi gravel spark. How's that? So Enchi gravel spark, 100% het hide. And if people aren't familiar with spark and yellow belly make the puma, which got kind of overshadowed by the highways and freeways. It went like ivories was a cool thing for yellow belly complex. Then it was super stripes for a little bit, and then puma for like a minute, and then highways and freeways. But I have a really nice pastel Enchi super spark, and that's what helped create this, the gravel pie. So,
That's sick.
yeah, I really like it. I like it a lot. I kept one back last year. There was a pastel version, and there's a good shot of the pattern. Super cool. And
It's like so detailed, like outlined. If you look at the dorsal, it just pops.
really sharp and clean lines and stuff.
So, do you follow any of the progress that's going on with the ball python genetics project?
Not much. I'm too busy.
So,
honestly,
so basically, they've Dr. Seidel, she's already discovered the test to identify yellow belly, gravel, and spark. So they can tell from the shed. So you don't have to wait from a hatchling to adult to see if that's going to prove out yellow belly or gravel. Yeah,
I'll look into it then.
Yeah, I'll send you some info, but it's pretty cool.
This is a sister going into shed, but this is the pastel version of that.
What a difference!
And that's in shed. So
what a difference!
Pastel and sheet gravel are 100% het pied. But I kept one just like her last year. So both I have two of those ones, and this girl will all be available. So fun little thing. Okay, so the which one did I show? That highway pied stuff. Aiden morphing. That's my buddy Terrell. He is also a vet. I told you there's a bunch of vets in here. He is.
Thank you all.
He's currently in the Navy. I have his collection, so we partnered up. Rather than keeping a collection on a aircraft carrier, it doesn't work too well.
No, it's a little tough.
Yeah. The hold on one second. Let me plug in this battery real quick.
Go for it. So I told you guys, I told you ahead of time that he has fire, but most of you knew this already. I have not finished this sticker wall. I literally have too many stickers for this banner, and I've just been lazy. You would be surprised how time-consuming this is.
All right. So the highway stuff is a joint project with Terrell, or Aiden's morphing.
Can't be mad at that, Aiden. You're coming home to something good.
Can't have a snake rack on an aircraft carrier, something like that. I don't know. Kind of weird. But here's another joint one that he and I did. And these ones came out really, really nice. And it kind of goes back with that classic, right? So two classics. Albino and pied. But this has got leopard as well. Woo! Hey, you little crazy.
So the leopard really gives it that wonky pattern.
Yeah. And this looks just like the mom. The mom was a albino leopard pied, came straight from Justin. And,
how's the head stamp? I'm trying to see the head stamp on that because the leopard usually tricks out the head stamp.
Yeah, let's see if we can. Are you
Come
gonna
on.
cooperate?
Come on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, that works. So, a boy and two girls of that left, and they're awesome. You know, they just it's a good mix. I'm not a huge albino fan, believe it or not, and that was the first project when I first got into ball pythons. I was buying a few animals. I actually bought a project that was an albino and a couple, 3 hets. And so that was my first project to put together, and before pieds, but they're classic. I think together they're great. Alone, well, they're okay. No,
I got you. Well, you have to understand, for the noob, the person just getting into it, they're phenomenal. You've seen nothing else. It's the most beautiful animal ever. Okay, my son's fifth clutch is a double head albino pied clutch, which was a 1.3. So he's ecstatic about that.
Nice.
It's not bad for a 10-year-old.
I honestly think normals are pretty. So
thank you.
It's not even a thing where like I downplay one. It's just like I tell people, hey, if you go to an ice cream shop, you're going to get one flavor. I'm going to get another flavor. They're both going to be great. We're both going to be happy, but they might not be the same. And that's kind of how this whole ball python game works.
I think that the only difference now from a decade ago, 2 decades back, is with social media, you can see so much faster now. And because of that, we have a little free. See, he spoke about ice cream and he got brain freeze and his screen froze. That's what happens, guys, when we talk about ice cream. But I'm sure he will be right back. What is good, brother? You are late. You need to go to the dean's office and get a late pass. We were talking about you, and some fool is representing you today. I don't know who that could be. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Guys, while we're waiting for the freeze to unfreeze, please make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I love all of the activity that goes in the chat, but when you come back and you leave a comment on the video, you trick those algorithms and then we start getting new subscribers. Thank you for the shout out on 800 subscribers. Remember, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are giving away 8 snakes. And when we hit 1,250 subscribers, we're giving away a pair of snakes to make a Batman donated by DTMG Pythons. I am picking that up this weekend at Battlefield. Hope to see a lot of you guys at Battlefield this weekend. And I believe Mike said that over on the other coast, and I always remind Jerome that the left coast is the lesser coast, but over on the other coast, they also have a show coming up this weekend. So make sure you catch that. You see, you spoke about ice cream and you got brain freeze.
No, but remember, I told you it shuts off. My wife walks in and it's all
and it comes right back, no problem. You better have your wife sit next to you. Oh gosh, keep freezing. So yes, can't say it enough today, guys. Thank a veteran. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care how you feel about the military, but the fact that you have the freedom to have those thoughts and be able to express them, thank somebody for it, okay? No, that's not me in my story. That is my father, Purple Heart veteran, U.S. Air Force, Vietnam, combat. He almost didn't have a choice. So just think about that freedom that we have today, okay? My father enlisted and received his draft card a few days afterwards to the Army. Isn't that something? So always remember that, guys. Yes, Aiden, he is showing nothing but quality. His animals are much higher quality than his internet connection, but I'm sure he'll be back because he has a few more animals to show us. Guys, if you have any questions to ask Mike when he's on there, please feel free to send them, okay? We will definitely entertain any questions, but as you can see, he's showing some beautiful animals, and the animals that he's showing, many of them are available. His MorphMarket, he doesn't put too much on there. All of Porter's Python's links are in the video description below. You can find his Instagram account, and I think the Instagram account is the best way to contact Mike and see what he has available right there at Porter's Pythons on Instagram. And it's probably the best way to see what's available and work something out. All right, you're back. Have your wife stay in the room.
I know, right? She's trying to get we had a backup computer and apparently the whole thing crashed. So
look, that's the fire. Look, so you're a fireman by trade. You put out fires. How do you prevent fires? What's more important, putting out the fire or preventing the fire?
Well, I mean, if too many people prevent them, then I don't have a job. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We always have a job.
That's right. Cats in the trees and all that other good stuff. Everybody's rocking this no limit gear. Everybody's rocking this no limit gear today. I don't know. The internet on the West Coast. You see, guys, I told you the West Coast giving us crappy internet today. I am a big fan as well, and I was even a bigger fan when I met Mike in Arlington, and honestly, it was all about his Princess Sophia that he carried around with pride. I love Pied. Why don't you guys leave in the comments, not in the chat. When the video's over, leave in the comments. Let's see how many comments we get for high white Pied and how many comments we get for low white Pied. I am not shy about saying it. I have a beautiful, beautiful high white male that we got from Pure Genetics. And actually, he's the one that produced the double head pied, albino pied clutch. He's a stud muffin. He goes straight to work. But I favor low white pied. So in the comments, not the chat, in the comments under this video, which do you prefer? Do you prefer high white or do you prefer low white? And why? Why? What is so appealing to you? What makes what draws that attention to you, whether it's high white or low white? And again, who doesn't love Pied? If you don't love Pied, I don't know. I haven't found too many people say that. But I'm gonna have to agree with Charlie, guys. I don't agree with him too often. I'm gonna see him this weekend at Battlefield, and I hope to see many of you there as well. I'm excited about it, almost as excited as Arlington or a Tinley trip. But smash that like button. Let's work those algorithms, okay? I don't know how many people have been on so far, but we should have that many likes. Just playing, I hit the like. Oh, smash the dislike button. Thank you, Charlie. You see, I told you I never agree with you. You see what I mean? I didn't even see that. Went right over my caps. Love the color and pattern. So, John, he's making some pretty sick stuff. Definitely agree with that. Low white is always better. I have to agree with my chancleta homie, Romy. Okay, gotta agree. So Romy is a low white man himself. Look at all these low white people, but are we leaving those in the comments or just in the chat? We're gonna look. Maybe we'll do a giveaway for all the comments after this video. If you leave comments in the video, and I get at least, I would say 20, 30 comments on whether you prefer low white or high white pies in the video comment, not the chat, guys. I'll figure out a giveaway for those of you that are having fun with us.
Okay.
You're back. Guys, we are live with Porter's Pythons.
Tech Wizard wife came back in. So that's all. She runs the whole show. She pulls more eggs than me now. She cuts more eggs than me. She does it all.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Wife, are you hearing this? What his wife does?
Yeah, she hears. She knows it. She hears it all the time.
Well, my wife is right here, and she's like, "How may I help you?" She doesn't want to hear it.
So we were asking earlier about what's more important, fighting fires or putting them out.
So basically, what I was saying, one of the things a lot of people they don't follow good advice when it comes to ball python keeping, and then once the fire starts is when they realize maybe I should have listened. So guys, I think that preventing the fire is more important than fighting the fire.
Yeah.
But I'm not a firefighter. I have another job, so I get what Mike's saying, right? You can only save so many kittens from the tree.
Yeah, I actually got a call for that once. We didn't go.
No,
I was like a brand new reserve firefighter, and I was like, "Got this perfect call for a firefighter." And my captain's like, "Oh, we don't do that." I'm like, "He is like a perfect firefighter call," and he's like, "No." He's like, "Have you ever seen a dead cat in a tree?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, exactly, it'll come down. I'm like, "Oh,
it'll come down."
So
that's funny. I was looking at a volunteer firefighter who just seems to be, their name is always popping up in some type of drama or here or there, and actually it was talked about on my show on Wednesday, and that was one of the posts on their Facebook was about saving a kitten in the tree.
Yeah,
I was like,
we've had dogs and cranes and other stuff, and I got a snake out of the frame of a guy's truck one time. That was fun.
That's interesting. What type of snake was it?
It's a gopher snake. I work out in the desert here, and so we get a lot of rattlesnakes, and
that sounds like a whole lot of fun.
So it's my gig for sure. Yeah, like they're like, "Oh, people call the station. Hey, is the snake guy there?"
The snake guy. So let me ask you: do you do the fireman calendars and you have the snake around your neck with the suspenders and no shirt on?
Absolutely. Yeah. Mr. Jin all the time. No. That would be pretty funny though. Yeah. My
What's
wife
up,
just
my
saw me
brother
for
Jose?
Halloween, so. But
So, guys,
okay,
that's the man I was talking about right here that gave us that beautiful high white pie.
nice. So remember, I was telling you I had one that was like the perfect balance of
The
white
perfect balance, the perfect pie for Porter's pythons.
right there. I would say that's about as pretty balanced and perfect white to color ratio that I like. That's my preference, right there. And that's a super orange dream pie. It was our first year making the supers. We've been making orange dream pies for a few years now, and this thing blows them away. It's amazing when you put this one right next to a really nice orange dream pie. And you're like, oh, this thing
That is so clean.
super nice, right? And then if we want to up the ante one more, not this guy is not a holdback either.
Oh, you saw that guy? Put him up one more time. Let him see him one more time.
So my buddy Andrew at Redwood, he just bought this one, or he bought the brother to this. So this one is available. Super orange dream pie, male. So he'll be at the show this weekend, unless somebody calls me before the weekend.
So Andrew has slummed it with me on a couple of my shows.
Yeah. He lives right down the street.
Next to Snoop?
20. You hear that, Ben?
Yeah.
He asked me earlier. I'm like, oh, he's 3 houses down. He's like, what? Okay, so this is another brother. If this one doesn't sell, I won't be sad. But it goes against my pattern. But this is Super Orange Dream and Fire.
There goes your guy.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. So that one right there, Super Orange Dream Fire Pied. And that thing is about as clean as it gets. Super cool. You like the head stamp right there?
That's amazing.
Yeah. This guy is, like
So
I said.
who won the battle of the head stamp? Is that the Fire or the OD?
So I think this is the Fire that did it a little bit cleaner, because I'll show you, I'll show you on the other one. They're pretty. This guy's head stamp got a little wonky, which is kind of cool. See?
Okay.
So I think that the Fire cleaned it up even more than just the other. So there's like that.
Yeah, that's like a perfect, yeah.
So pretty neat. I like them. Again, I like the lower white, but he's strong, and super clean. So if he doesn't sell, I won't be sad. But he is for sale, or he is available.
All right, guys. So Jack is doing his first STW ever, and I am not upset that it's an animal he won from me. If you want to get into the paint project, you can do that with a chance for only $10. So get with Jack from Inflicted Exotics, guys.
Nice.
He's going a different direction, okay? And I need to close that out so I could try to win it back for $10.
Yeah, it's there's so many directions to go. That's awesome. I haven't gotten into that project, but it looks like it's got great potential. So
it does, but it's just like everything else. It still has an entire debate whether it's an incomplete dominant or it is a recessive.
Yeah.
I lean towards the recessive side. A lot of people lean towards the incomplete dominant side.
Yeah.
But I can show you why.
Okay. Next one.
Let's go.
First clown we ever hatched. Well, okay, produced. So I hatched clowns 5 or 6 years ago, but the female I bought was gravid.
That's not bad. Now, did you know she was gravid, or that was just a surprise?
I knew she'd been paired. I bought the snake from a friend who was getting, reducing her numbers on her collection, and I bought it. She paired it, and back when it was like, she paired it to a nice male, which was a super pastel het clown, and so I got pastel clowns. But I was like, it was like cool, but then it threw off what I was wanting to do with it, and so kind of took me off track. Actually, I think my game plan for that was pied clown stuff.
There you go. So
But
pastel,
then you can do it.
pastel clown's kind of what put me off to pastel.
If
As-
you get a nice one, it can be okay.
I've seen it.
Gotta be in other stuff.
Well, just so you know, I've come back home and I've learned to appreciate pastel only because of other combos and how phenomenal it works with other combos.
Yeah, like DG and pastel is among my favorites. So
some argue that you can't have Desert Ghost without having pastel in it.
Yeah, you can. I'll show you. Okay, so this one was our very first clown.
Damn.
Right there. And this is now Akira. That's her name. We name everything here.
Yes, I know, and I love it because we name everything here as well. Well, we don't name anything that is available, but anything that's staying back, we name.
So my bonus girl a few years ago, she's like, "What's that one's name?" I said, "For sale." But
okay.
Anything that stays, it gets a name, and she named this. So that's one of the fun things now. Like it used to be just TV shows or movies or whatever, and now I just have the kids name them. And so she picked Akira for this one. I don't know why, but she liked it. So
that's what I was wondering. Do they have a method, or they just something comes to them?
The kids, I think it's just what comes to them. I don't know that there's a method to the madness, but I have a bunch of Fast and the Furious characters. I had a whole cast of Saved by the Bell characters back in the day. It started off, all my stuff had NCIS, and all the vets will know that NCIS TV show, and all my snakes were named after the characters from that. But so this is our first clown produced in-house.
So another West Coast cat, Antoine, did his first clown, and let me tell you, you guys, you make it worth the wait. Like, those are not bad first timers.
So this one, it's still up in the air on one of the genes. So it's that same dad, right? Cypress, cinnamon, spot nose, fire, het clown. And the debate is up on whether it's got all of it or it's lacking cypress. I've never hatched a cypress. I've never hatched a spot nose until this season, obviously, and clowns. So I'm not the world's greatest expert on this particular combo. But she's going to
know. That thing is funky.
She's going to stay. Bob Vu has one that looks very, very similar. And I sent him some pictures. And he says, I think it's got cypress. Cypress wasn't in his, but he had one at Tinley, and I've seen some pictures of it and chatted with him. And his is cinnamon spot nose fire clown, and he's like, I think it does, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess the old-fashioned way of just breeding it and figuring it out. But I mean, she's for a first clown out the gate. That's pretty.
Not bad at all.
Pretty,
I mean, where do you go? Where do you go from here?
This one.
Oh.
Yeah. You said, okay, just so everyone knows, he said start from basics and go up. So
yeah, well, you didn't even start with basic. You brought out a NG pie that looked like it was super OD orange.
Okay. This guy's in shed, so he doesn't look his greatest. But still not bad. And this is a DG clown that we hatched.
Okay. All right, guys. There it goes. A lot of you are working on this now. This is what you're hoping for.
Yeah. This guy is a little beast.
Now, you said he's in shed?
Crazy. Yeah, he's in shed. And like you can see, his eyes are super cloudy.
Yeah. He just looks a little dull. That's why. I got you.
But he is
he's gorgeous.
Super vibrant. Yeah. And it's just this is a fun one. And this will be a nice project for the next several years. And
when did you start working on the Desert Ghost gene and working on this double recessive?
4 years ago. Almost 3.5 years ago. I made I had a pastel caramel DG boy. no other game plans. I didn't have a clown male to use, so I made a bunch of triple heads. So I made some pastels and some normals that were all triple het for caramel, DG, and clown, and just tried to work around the caramel stuff. So
caramel, thank you. You know, that's another gene that I feel has just been kicked to the curb and has great potential.
It does. It's just I don't like having animals that have to be euthanized. A tiny little kink in the tip of a tail, and it goes off and it's sold as a beautiful pet. I'm fine with that, but I don't want one that's got a big gnarly hunchback.
So I was concerned about that too, and Curtis from Mythical Exotics, in his experience, if you're not breeding visual to visual, it usually minimizes that from occurring. So I'm gonna give it a shot with a hypo het caramel albino to a caramel Mojave spider.
I
we're
did
still growing out the girl.
I did a visual to a het, and they all had a kink super minor, like just the last little tip of the tail was just like rounded. Other than that, they were absolutely just gorgeous. But they were like pastel caramels and unbelievable on how beautiful. And the pastel caramel DG boy that I bought it from Tim. It was produced by Straight Fire. That thing is amazing, and I really want to use them. But I'm just so hesitant. I don't want to. I don't want to have a bunch of kinks, and so I do struggle with whether I do it or not. You know, and I mean, in reality, I could hit a triple on that. I could hit a pastel caramel DG clown if I put my boys together with my girls, but I'm leery of it. You know, I'm not sure.
All right, so Jack, if Arlington, we're talking about February, I know Samson literally decides where we're going, and I believe he does. Huh?
Come out to Pomona.
You know, I got to tell you, he's collecting states, not only going to different shows, it's about going to different states. So that's a nice one. I joke around about the West Coast guys, but I wouldn't mind. I might not come back. So we have a question for you, Mike.
Okay.
They have a visual. Seen my male and female lock 3 times. Can I back it off now, or should I keep the schedule going through December?
I keep it going. I keep it going until we start ignoring each other. Sam's right down the street from me too. But yeah, I would just keep them going. You can back it off and do it, you know, every other week, or I like to get at least 3 to 5 locks on my pairings. I'm an old school guy. Terrell did buy an ultrasound this last season. I scanned a few females, but it had no bearing on on my pairings this season. But I'm an old school palpator, and that's how I do it. I just breed them seasonally, and I palpate the females, and I try to get these 3 to 5 locks, and that's where I strike.
So I think that answers this question: if you ultrasound or not.
Yes and no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, yes, we did it this year, but again, this year I'm going to play with it. We have a group of animals that I'm going to learn how to use the ultrasound and breed based off the ultrasound with a set group. I'm not going to base my whole season on it because the last few seasons, okay, I've been 20 females paired, 17 clutches. 21 females paired, 18 clutches. If
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, 2 years ago I was 13 for 13. I gave a bunch of girls a year off. Took a kind of a smaller season. This year I think 21 clutches laid and like 26 females paired. So
you have a huge success rate there in your pairings, and kudos to you for that. Quick question.
Yeah.
Now, what's your slug rate, or any idea like how many slugs you're having a season?
Not very many. I breed my girls on the bigger side too. My minimum weight when I breed them, and this is based off of like my mentor taught me. He was an old school dude, been breeding stuff since the 80s and whatnot. And he I breed everything at 1,800 grams on the females.
That's my minimum weight. I prefer 2,000, but the minimum we do is 1,800.
Yeah, minimum's 18, but I've got girls who 4,500 grams. So
beautiful.
So our flagship girl, this girl, Elvira, she got the pumpkin face, jack-o'-lantern face. She was like, I think this year she maxed out like 4,800 grams before she ended up laying a clutch. Crazy.
Wow. So she packed that weight.
Mm-hmm.
So can you just do me a favor?
Yeah.
First of all, I wish you nothing but the best with the ultrasounding.
I appreciate it.
But if you could just monitor, because one of the arguments I have for people that have high slug rates is that they ultrasound so much that it stresses out the animal. And I think that may contribute to slugging out.
I could see that being, a potential. Like I said, I haven't toyed with it yet. I mean, we got it. I scanned some girls. My buddy Mike at Redline Pythons, who'll be vending with me this show. Another firefighter buddy. He came over, showed me how to use it. But again, it was like May, so it wasn't even anywhere near what we thought would be the time frame. And I mean, it was early, or it was later into the year, so I didn't base anything off of that. So it'll be interesting.
So besides weight and a minimum weight of 1,800 grams, is there anything else that you attribute? That's a very high success rate. I mean, that's more impressive than people that a lot of people I know that ultrasound.
Yeah.
So what is there anything else that you attribute to that success rate?
I think just not rushing them and not being like, oh, I can breed a girl at 1,500 grams because that's the industry standard, and it's a year and a half old. I mean, but people get into this ultrasound thing and they see it, and again, obviously it's working for some people, but for me, like just that old school mentality of like, I wait till they're 3 years old. I think maybe 2.5 might be the youngest I've ever bred, but
I do it 3 winters. I use it.
I guess
I use it 3 winters mentality.
Yeah. The same idea. Yeah.
So I think that's great advice for those of you that are listening. I mean, one of the topics that have crossed our shows many times, this one and the others, is power feeding. And you can get the snake to a certain weight. It still doesn't mean that it's mature.
Exactly.
So
that's at least my understanding of it. And then some of the big wigs will that are doing this professionally, and that's all they're doing. Like, they're having success with it, with the smaller and breeding that way. But to me, it's just, I don't do it. This is my wife would hate me if I call it a hobby, but it's my side business. It was a hobby for a long time. She's a business coach, so she likes the word business. I'm
with your wife on this one, buddy.
It's just not my livelihood, and so for me, it's like, if a girl doesn't go for a year, okay, she just gets bigger.
But you see, that's the thing. There's supposed to be a work-life balance, so your business shouldn't be your livelihood.
Exactly. Yeah.
You should work to live, not live to work.
Exactly.
So I'm with Mrs. Porter's Pythons on this one, guys. All right, it is a business if you're operating it like a business. Too many people here say they run a business, but they operate it like a hobby. So we always go over those two terms. So you're doing too much. You're doing too much and too well to call it a hobby. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's like, if you're price tagging snakes at $5,000 and you're giving out all this advice, like, it's a business. For me, it's like, I don't have product. I don't have inventory. I have animals that are available. I have, Elvira and Tony's babies. Like, that's how I look at it. So I'm always have that hobby mentality and just the love of it mentality. But she's like, you can be a businessman and still love your animals. I'm like, okay, deal. You're the boss.
So that's what I say. I say that, and again, I'm a sucker for stickers. All right. But there's a huge difference between approaching this as a business,
for sure,
or being a sticker breeder. It's cool. The stickers are great. I love it. It reminds me of when I was young and we did the baseball cards and everything like that. Yeah. But there's a huge difference. Are we here to swap stickers, or are we here to produce and continue producing a revenue stream? And as beautiful as these animals are, they do become a revenue stream.
They do. Yeah. If I were to stop breeding them for a season, it'd be a huge financial hit. But again,
Oh, I see what Derek did here. That was really slick. That was really slick, Derek. Derek, I get it. Mike, explain this. You put out fire, and then you put out fire. Snakes. How does that work? I see the play on words. That was a good one.
I like
that
it.
was a good one.
Yeah, and then there was if you saw my Halloween post with my wife, was my Princess Sophia and I were firefighting.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Was fire.
She was a fire, right?
It's the one fire I won't fight. So
smart man. Very smart man.
Yeah. Let's see. You want to see another one?
Yeah, let's go, man. We'll see whatever you want to show us. We're I told you that the hour goes by in the snap of a finger. We are there, okay?
Okay.
But I owe them 3 minutes, so we'll stay as long as you want to stay.
All right. So hypo is another gene we do. And this is a couple holdbacks from last year. These boys will be probably in the mix this year. So this is a hypo Orange Dream GHI fire. Speaking of fire, so there you go.
Yeah, but every gene you named there, I love.
Yeah, and it really works really well. I really like the way this boy's aged. Initially I was like, I'm not going to keep him, and then I just kept.
Now you got a lot going on here, right? So the hypo is very, very obvious.
Oh yeah.
The Orange Dream is obvious. What do we have the GHI doing here?
Just mixing up, making a wonky pattern. If you can kind of see it, let me see here. The pattern is all just mixed up. And I made one that didn't have the GHI. So the clutch was absolutely perfect for identification. So,
right. I just want to explain because it's not a standard GHI look.
No. It just has a really busy pattern for anything that would be anything with those other 3 genes. So hypo is not going to do anything to the pattern. The Orange Dream is going to not really affect the pattern as much, maybe color and maybe some of this stuff down the tail. Like
okay. Yeah, that looks OD.
The fire is just brighter because I had a non-fire version as well. So the clutch was, like I said, it was perfect for identification.
Yeah, so guys, a lot of times, and for newer breeders, sometimes it's hard to identify the genes when you're just looking at the snake, and I explain this to people all the time, especially when you have a 6-gene snake. It's usually when they're hatchlings and you have the clutch mates that you're able to identify these genes based on the pairing and looking at its clutch mates. So I definitely get that.
We'll go back to a pied, yeah. So this is Billy. He's an Orange Dream special pied. Oh, the other one was Patrick, as in was a ghost. Patrick Swayze's a ghost.
Oh, okay. So you make people think. I get you. I'm telling you, my snakes all. I gotta. Well, I haven't put that snake out yet, so I won't. I can't tell its name because we haven't shown it yet. Okay, so a snake we got from Jerome that I called dibs while it was in the clutch was a hypo cinnamon, and she is named
combo.
Rome Holland because he's Jerome Holland, so she's named Rome Holland.
Okay,
you see? All right. So they all have names that tell their story.
So this one's dad is Dakota. He's a special het pied, but I got that from Billy at Mutation Creation. So this is Billy.
That's too easy. That was too easy, man.
I started. So the het clown boy that I got from Tim. That's Tim.
You see, those are easy.
I got kind of like, all right, I need something quick, so I'm putting them away. But yeah, so
yeah, I do a lot of last names.
Yeah, Orange Dream special pied.
That head snap's crazy.
Yeah, that is obviously one of his more distinguishing characteristics.
Wow, down to the nose, like.
Oh yeah. So special pieds is one that we started getting into this last year, and so we made a few nice ones. This was one we kept from last year, and then I kept a Orange Dream special het pied and an Enchi special het pied. I really want to get Enchi into this project because I want some pattern on this, if I can get it. That's my goal. So this boy, as soon as he's He's ready. He's got a super inchy het pied, and he's got pastel inchy pied and an inchy pied. I think the inchy yellow belly pied female that I have is going to go to the super gravel het pied.
All right, so how do you plan on getting pattern on this? Because customarily this is what you get. So
yeah, so typically with special, it's very high white, almost. It's always the head.
Right.
Really, that head pattern is really affected, and they're very high white. So this is characteristic of that. The spots on him are really orange, so that's how I knew Orange Dream was in there, because I hatched special pies that didn't have that kind of orange, and that was in the pairing. So rule of deduction, I figured out that Orange Dream, and I throw these pictures to other breeders that are in that project. Troy over at Best Dressed Balls, Ozzy, Billy, and Justin, and a couple other people are in the special pied stuff. Florin, who's in Europe, he's like kind of I think ahead of everybody else on the special pieds. And for identification purposes, like, hey, I mean, best guess as we can get on it, but looking at some of the characteristics, that's what we're looking at. Now, when you add inchy into pieds, a lot of times or pinstripe, those genes will create a lot more pattern in pieds. Now, it's just a matter of, will it do it with a special? Will special override that power of adding that pattern, or will it be okay?
So, yeah, the first special pied that actually caught my eye came out from AEP. So matter of fact, Jerome just mentioned exactly. So yeah, I saw those when he was showing when Miguel was showing his clutch.
Yeah, he bought one. I sold Miguel one last year, a female, and I shouldn't have, because that thing is awesome. Here's another.
So let's talk about that. Do you often have the opposite, which is seller's remorse, right?
There's been a couple. Over the years where I was like, oh man, I really should have kept that snake. But a lot of times those ones that were like, that I really should have kept, went to buddies like Miguel, or who's another one that I sold one to? I don't know, a couple people. My buddy Travis, he bought one, and
do you work anything into the deals? Like if I'm on a bubble, I need a hatchling back. It's part of the deal.
So Adam Serrano, that's another one that I really shouldn't have sold. I had an inchy pied that had the opposite of what the typical was, a very high white inchy pied, which was unique. So I should have kept it for that reason, but he vends with me, and eventually I'll either get some from her or I'll get her back.
There you go.
But I mean, so here's another one. Here's a new project that is another one that's Terrell and I are working on. This is his boy, but he's going to go to a couple of my girls. This is an inchy lace clown, and
lace, so much to do with lace.
There is. Don't ask me identification characteristics on that, because this is the first one I've dealt with, and super nice. Like, I've seen inchy clowns, and so I know they look different, but I couldn't talk you through all the differences. I'm not the expert on this, but this boy should give us some clutches this season, and then we'll have some better information on how to identify him, because he's going to probably see a couple different girls here. But that's a project that's a joint project, and another clown project that I'm excited about for a change. So very nice.
Well, that looks good, and I'm excited to see that, because lace, like I said, I mean, I don't have lace in my collection. It's definitely on the wish list. Mm-hmm. But from what I've seen, and when we get what white lace is, super lace.
Yeah, white. Yeah,
right.
White
so white lace does crazy stuff. So I mean, there's just you have a lot of potential. So that's going to be exciting to watch that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree, John. The nose and head stamp on that was absolutely perfect. If you looked at it, it looked like it was actually drawn on there. It was perfect. It was symmetrical. It was perfect in every way.
All right, two more,
guys. Drum roll.
I mean, if people want to hang out still.
2 more. They're here. They're here. They want to see what you got because you're putting out nothing but fire.
All right. Okay, no fire in this one. But this is that Orange Dream special het pied girl. And this girl is just aged better and better and better as she gets bigger. She's just phenomenal. Like really love, like all that's the Orange Dream, just stretching out all that. There was some other specials in the mix, and so you're able to kind of look at the differences. A lot of times these alien heads were real clean and real white on the specials that I had, but it was really nice to see the difference because this thing had just so much orange, and then that really funky Orange Dream kind of tape, where it just kind of washes out all this here at the tail. So this will be
and it looks like it has a pied marker there too.
Yeah, so I don't know how much those are. Like, I don't really go by them, just because like I produced it, so I know it's 100% het. Because it was an special het pied to an Orange Dream pied. So I know that's got that, and but I've got other animals, other normals that have had those tracks. They're not het pied.
But here's my thing though, and I talk about it all the time. Mm-hmm. I honestly believe you have genes like pied specifically, being one of them, that as a het do affect the phenotype.
I think
so there has to be something going on there.
I think the same thing with clown. Like I think
clown is another one.
Stuff, it just looks better than not having it. I think it's really
well. Not only that, I mean, look at an urban camo. Look at a champagne het pied. I mean, they look like pieds. You know, so when you have a gene that's affecting the phenotype the way that pied does, the way that clown does, the animal just looks better. I think that there has to be some credence to these markers, but again, all markers are not 100% indicators that it's there. Exactly. I agree with you on that.
I think it's a good potential. Okay, Tech Wizard is gonna go get dinner. So my Tech Wizard bonus boy is on standby. Okay, here's another one. This is DG stuff.
Not for nothing, but we've had no issues since they've been there.
I know. It's cool. It's awesome. Okay.
Wow.
Orange Dream, Leopard, DG, possible Yellow Belly, and Pos Het Hypo.
That is crazy. So this is the Desert Ghost difference.
Yeah. Just super clean. And then I just recently picked up another one. This came from Miguel, and picked up another one. It's an Orange Dream Fire Desert Ghost, and it's just side by side. The color on the fire is just a skosh lighter, so it is a little bit paler yellow, but just super clean. So Desert Ghost is something that we're gonna have quite a bit now in the next over the next couple of years. We'll have. It's going to be a big project for us. So,
that was absolutely amazing. That was cleaner than clean.
Yeah.
That was. I think we have to end it there. I don't want to see anything else.
Good, because I didn't grab any more.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have to end it there only because of the fact, like I want to dream about that snake tonight, guys.
All right. Yeah, let me show it.
That thing was absolutely beautiful. That's about as clean as it gets. Guys, we passed the hour mark. We scheduled this about a month ago.
Sweet dreams.
Look at this.
Sweet dreams.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you are following. You have to be following him. The guy has 15,000 plus followers. He's crushing it on Instagram. As you can see why, because he's killing it with what he is producing. Make sure you are following Porter's Pythons. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me your time. I think that the greatest gift anyone can give someone is the gift of time. So I appreciate you giving us the gift of time. I know you're busy. You're on the other coast. You have a beautiful daughter and your bonus children and your wife over there, and yet you still gave us this time. So I really appreciate that. It's obvious that your work has just proved to be phenomenal.
I appreciate it.
Look forward to the next decade. Look forward to the next decade of what you produce. You are always welcome, guys. Remember, Wednesdays, What's in Your Cup, 7 a.m. Thursdays, Bowling with Bryan. Tomorrow, it is Jason and I from up north, from Canada, doing the Keeper's Corner, guys. All right? But thank you so much, brother. Guys, make sure you are following Porter's Pythons on Instagram. If you're interested in any of the animals that he showed today that may be available, hit him up on Instagram. Mike, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you.
Man. I appreciate it. I love having have you guys having me on, and it was great meeting you in Arlington. So it's finally good to get to do this.
No, we'll do it again. We will do it again, and you know what? Maybe it happens on the West Coast.
Yeah. Do when you come out here for Pomona.
That's it. We'll do a West Coast tour, brother.
All right, buddy.
All right. Have a great night.
All right. See ya.